Welcome to Rebecca Sounds Reveille. With us today is returning guest Richard During. He is an actor out of the Los Angeles area, and he is the son of Diana During. I didn't share that with you last time because I thought this would be something really exciting for him to share with us today. And not only that, but he has been an ER paramedic in an emergency room. Well, several of them across the country. And he was inspired to become an actor by studying at the Beverly Hills Actors Workshop. And so from there, he has went on and done so many other things. He's going to share with us today something that we touched on last time he was here. But this is really exciting, and I'm going to let him give you all the details. So help me welcome back Richard During. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
I am excited to have you back. You've got a lot going on. You've had a lot going on, but there's some exciting news on the horizon here for some things coming down the pipeline this year.
Yeah, FireFighter2, it's already ready to go. May 15th.
May 15th.
It's going to be a TV pilot. It's going to be about a cursed park ranger that turns half dragon and half man.
Okay.
Very exciting.
This is probably the closest thing I've heard to Bigfoot or Saskatchewan in a long time, especially for something that's going to end up being a TV series. So this is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. This is going to be an awesome project.
So do tell the audience what your role is. I'm excited. I'm going to let you share all the
big city TV newsman named Dave Fields, and I open up the show.
How fun is this?
It's going to be exciting.
I know you're delighted about this.
All my fans, all my audiences to follow my journey because things are going to be getting interesting.
Things are getting hot and we need to follow your journey. This is fabulous. Tell me, do you know what platform it's going to be broadcast on?
I don't know that yet.
Okay.
I know filming and what my role is, and I know a little bit about the film.
I think it's exciting because there's so many different platforms from everything from, Hulu, Amazon Prime, you have your big networks. There's so many different options, and I'm hoping to see it on several because this sounds like it's something that with right now, all of the fantasy genre shows that are coming out that are really garnering a lot of attention. This is going to be something I think that's going to really obtain a lot of viewership, especially from those who haven't been maybe kind of in that focus, because you've got half man. And so, yes. And so there can be a little bit of reality there to the fantasy, and they can kind of go with it. So this sounds kind of fun.
Kind of almost like DC comic.
Okay, so maybe you're going to end up becoming a superhero out of this, or get your own comics.
Who knows?
Who knows? We can have
what goes on.
That's right.
All I know is things are getting interesting, and there's lots on the horizon.
That's good though, because when you're an actor, you want to have projects that are coming up, things that you can look forward to, prepare for, study your script, engage your fans, get to know other people, and do a lot of networking. So you've got a lot on the horizon, like you said. And with this one coming up, this is really neat because you do have a pilot out of it and you're the one opening.
Yep. I'm the one opening the show.
You're the one opening the show. I love this. All right. So I just have to ask you, speaking of opening the show, have you ever done theater?
Yeah, I've done a little bit. I've done 4 plays.
Okay, tell me about this.
Well, I played in Death of a Salesman, On the Waterfront, and one I played as a gangster in a play called City Lights.
Oh yes,
Playing Lucky Luciani. It was a pretty good play.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you like theater more than being on set, or is this something that you'd prefer to stick to?
No, I like to be on set.
Being on set.
Film, television.
All right. Film and television is the way to go for you. This is
for me. I played some, like I said, I did some little bit of theater, but not a whole lot.
Okay, but I think that this is neat because you have an opportunity to see your range and gain skills and learn things about set and set design. Because when you're in theater, there's a lot of other things that go along with acting.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is. I kind of got my feet wet in every little aspects of the entertainment industry. Even modeling.
That's what you got to do.
Model for International Mail.
Okay, I want to hear this now. You're dropping a piece. I got to hear about this. Do tell.
Well, I did some modeling back in the day. I mean, quite a few different gigs. Make Company, Broadway, International Mail, the Broadmoor Motel in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Some promotional ads for newspapers.
I love this. Okay, so I'm going to go back for the audience, especially if we have a yes for the young.
I got those sunken in cheeks.
So yeah, for those that were listening that may not know what Make Company or Broadway is, it was a major department. Both of those were major department stores, very high-end department stores way back when, and so you could go to basically any mall, and that would be where actually, I think May Company had some independent buildings and they weren't attached to a mall, but that's where you went. If you were anybody, you went there, and that's where you did your shopping at. Those were some very prestigious department stores.
I'll take on a modeling job if someone wants to offer me one.
All right. So Richard During is also a model, and I have actually witnessed some of your photos that you've been posting on the timeline that you have on social media of the 70s pictures, and I want to hear about
those.
Those. Yeah. I want to hear about your modeling days, because was that the time frame you were doing modeling?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I was in Teen Beat magazine once too.
Teen Beat magazine, and they still have that, or is it Tiger Beat they still have?
Tiger Beat.
It's Tiger Beat. Okay. Yeah, it was Teen Beat and Tiger Beat and May what?
I don't know the other ones.
Okay, so that was every girl's heartthrob was in those magazines. Teenage heartthrobs. Do you happen to have one of your magazines laying around?
Yeah, I got it somewhere. It's locked up in some box in the shed somewhere. I gotta look it up.
Okay, one of these days when you're coming on the show, I've got to have you hold it up, because this is going to be an exciting part of your journey as you are gaining people, and they're going to learn a lot of insight about you. And
there's another thing people don't know about me.
Okay, I'm ready. Uh-oh.
Back in the day, I was in a rock band too, as the lead vocalist in LA Brats.
You were the lead vocalist in LA Brats.
Yeah.
Long hair,
all white, like Vince Neil. I got the picture over here. I'll get it out.
Okay. We're going to have a lot the next time that we talk to get some really good visuals on things that you have done. And this is exciting. I like to see the history in someone's life, the things that they've done and their accomplishments, and even just comical things, just being who you are. I love all of that.
Like I said, I dabbled a little bit in everything in industry.
This is great. I absolutely think that.
Not everything, not the adult industry though.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you clarified that. That was pretty good. Yeah. So, okay. You do have some things coming up that's really exciting that is going to be really capturing people's attention this year. One starting in May with the TV pilot. Are you able to share anything else with us?
Well, I can share Ladybug.
Tell me about Ladybug.
Ladybug's going to be good. It's going to be a killer.
Okay. going to be a killer.
I play a lead role in that. I'm going to be playing a lead role in that as one of the 3 killers.
Okay, this is exciting.
Two families go to a campsite somewhere in the Central Coast, not Central Coast, but the central part of California.
Okay.
They get brutalized, murdered, of course. It's a slasher film. Just like The Hills Have Eyes, that sense.
This is excellent. And that is another genre that seems to be trending quite well right now. So the timing, I think, for you is perfect. And the
director on that movie is Derek Hill. The director of FireFighter2 is Chris McNamara. Yeah. Just to know, I just want to give a shout out to him.
Excellent.
He's a great human being. I love him to death.
I think that this is great. It's really neat when you have a really good relationship with your director and they are really good at what they do. And the journey throughout your career with them can really be really great. Bridge a really good, solid professional relationship with them. It can be great for both of you.
Yeah, and I want to thank him for offering me this role.
Oh, I love it. Shout out to Chris.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris. Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you, Chris.
I love it. Oh, this is great. So
shout out to my other director that I'm going to be working with, Derek Hill.
Derek Hill.
Outstanding human being.
Go, Derek.
I'm doing a lot of projects coming up.
Awesome. Yes, it's great. The relationships that you make in the industry can really go very far on a lot of levels. I mean, personal, professional, there's a lot of fun with this. And you have all these really neat historical things about your career, which I think your fans are going to be delighted to see, not only when you bring some of them out on the show, but you've been doing some releasing of things on your social media pages, getting a lot of people not only interconnected, but they're interactive with you. And I think that this is really important. Oftentimes we forget how well of a tool it is to be connected to people, not only on one social media, but many of them. And you do that very well.
I'm trying my best.
Do you have any secrets on how you do it?
Not really.
Like, I'm not giving out my secrets. I'm just doing it.
I just try to get a good picture out there and I put some music to it that kind of fits the role, kind of,
I love it. I love it. Well, I got to tell you, I mean, it's really interesting too, because you're in the LA area and there's lots of opportunities there. And there has been other things that have been popping up in other cities across the nation that are sort of becoming places to go work. Atlanta, Texas is doing some things. And,
yeah, I got a director friend out there in Atlanta.
What do you think of that? I mean, do you think that Atlanta's starting to pick up a little bit more than Hollywood, or do you think Hollywood's always going to be Hollywood?
No, it's picking up. Hollywood's the main market. It's the big market. Mm-hmm. It's a bigger market, anyways.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. Do you think?
I have a director friend that's in Atlanta. Her name's LaDawn Whitmire. Shout out to her too, LaDawn. She's a great person.
LaDawn, shout out to you. So what I'm wondering, because the states are kind of different right now when it comes to COVID protocols and when you can shoot and when you can't, do you think with the strict rules that California has right now that other states are sort of picking up more opportunities for actors, or do you think it's same across the country?
Oh, no, things are starting to ease up a little bit right now.
Okay.
But this Omicron thing is going down, way down. I mean, they dropped a mask mandate today in LA.
Okay.
We're inside, not schools. Schools still have it, but I think you can go into Target or Walmart and not wear a mask anymore. So
okay.
I think we're coming out of this thing.
I really hope so. And I'd like to see that those that have been affected by it are getting healthier, and those that have lost family and loved ones are really being able to bond with those that they have with them now and being able to get through things. And I'd like to see that we're not experiencing the level of pain that this virus has caused
in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's starting to get weaker as time goes on.
I sure hope so.
The Spanish flu, remember that in 1918?
Yeah.
Lasted 3 years. Okay, we're in our third year now with this, and I think it's starting to get a little less.
Okay. I would like to see that this just kind of,
fade away.
Yeah, fade away, be gone. I really think it's just been caused too much of a challenge in so many people's lives. It's affected so much. But, going on from there, I do want to ask you before I let you go, if you were going to offer any type of advice to someone that wanted to get into acting or modeling, what do you think would be the first step for them to take?
Training.
Get the training. And so with that, I want to share, would you agree?
Never give up. Don't be discouraged.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Because if you look at those who are probably some of the most well-known celebrities on the planet, they will all tell you that they went to hundreds of auditions before they landed maybe their first gig. And so this is something for people to kind of think about. You can't give up. You've got to keep going. And what I want to share.
Keep going and just keep strong. Just keep at it.
Yes. Every time you go on an audition.
I'm nobody yet. I'm still at it.
That's right.
Years. I'm still going.
Well,
I mean, it's just in my veins. I mean, it's in my blood. It's just, can't get it out of me.
That you can't get it out. Once an actor, always an actor.
Yep.
Yeah. And I would like to just share that, and I think you'll agree with this, that every time you do an audition, you're fine tuning your craft just a little bit. You're also beginning, if you audition for roles you think that would take you out of your comfort zone, those things allow you to see the potential in you, and you go, I can do that. I didn't think I could, but wow. And you might even find that ends up being a niche for you. Not necessarily to typecast, but something that you really enjoy. I really got into this character, didn't think I would even like it at all. And I found that I was able to utilize different parts of me that I had no idea.
I'm starting to dwell back a little bit on that typecast thing.
Good.
Because when you typecast, you're limiting your options.
Exactly.
Like if you pick three things, like a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer, okay, where's the other parts?
Yeah, I absolutely.
That's what casting directors are for. Casting directors are creative.
They are.
You don't go to an audition wearing well, there's a casting director I've been following on IG, Instagram, and she talks about how to help actors. And she's pretty good too. And she's saying how the misconception of casting directors and this type thing. You got to know your type. You got to know your type. You don't need to know your type. Maybe when you first start, but you don't need your type. Because it narrows your scope of practice.
It does narrow your scope of practice. Absolutely.
Scope of practice. So if they're looking for a nurse or a doctor or lawyer or whatever, and if you only have those three things, you're not going to be playing something else that you could be playing too.
Well, you have a good point with that, especially as we were talking about earlier. The genres that are really trending right now are fantasy and horror. And if you are typecast and limiting yourself, if you believe that you are in that typecast of role.
Casting directors know, they're creative. They know how to cast you.
And that's what costumes are for. We can.
The job is to cast you to the role they want you in.
See, if that was me, I'd be like, you can do that because we can make you look however we want to make you look, and you just make sure that you deliver the script, your lines the way we need them to.
Yep.
And yeah, not just the lines, but I mean the part too. You've got to have the emote.
Actually, the lines are not.
Our body language really conveys.
Anybody can say lines.
Anybody can say lines. You're right. People can memorize tons and tons of information, but if you can't deliver it, utilizing
the way you want to deliver it.
Yeah.
Emotion with a passion.
So I will say something along those lines too. No pun intended. But the first 5 seconds you meet somebody, you have already formed an opinion about them from the way they walked up to you, the way that they've presented themselves with what they're wearing, how they respond through inflections on their face, their mannerisms. In 5 seconds, we've already been able to create who we think that person is.
Right.
So
when casting's watching your self tapes, they're only watching the first 5 seconds of that tape. So you better make it the best tape you got in 5 seconds. Come out strong.
It's true.
Your first line got to be strong. When you get that strong line in there, then you got a good chance.
That's right. 5 seconds.
If it's flat, then I'm going to turn it off.
Well, yes. And when there's a casting call for self-tapes, it's just like an audition. How many people are making an application for that?
Yeah, no.
I mean,
I don't know if we're ever even going to go back to live auditions.
No, but okay. I mean, through self-tapes, I mean, how many people submit?
Like me and you doing right now, we could do an audition right here.
That's true. That's true. But self-tapes, though, I mean, they could get thousands of them.
Of course.
Hundreds, thousands.
Money too.
Yeah. So, I mean,
or have offices. Some have to rent offices to have an audition.
That's true. That's true. And
it saves money all the way around.
It does save money. And you've seen the changes in this from having to do, drive to an audition. I don't even know if they're doing very many cattle calls anymore, especially because of COVID.
I doubt it.
No, yeah, that's what I would think too. So everybody is turning to the self auditions. And I think you've just said something that's really profound. 5 seconds. You don't nail it.
Yeah. You got to nail it in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
First 7 seconds, no more.
A good point. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I had 50 to look at, let alone 250 or 2,500 or whatever, I think I would look at something, and you're right. In the first few seconds, you have to go, okay, I got to move on to the next one, or I don't.
And you also have to, when you're doing an audition, self-tape, you got to do something spectacular. Something different.
Something different and spectacular. You've got to stand out from everybody else.
Have you ever heard of Greg Apps?
Great Apps?
Greg Apps. He's a guy.
No.
He's a big casting director in Australia.
Okay.
He discovered Russell Crowe.
Okay. Anyway,
and he says you have to be right on 7 seconds or more and do something spectacular. One guy got an audition from, all these people came in doing these auditions, right? One after another, same old thing, same actor, same role. They get tired, they get bored, same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You got to do something spectacular, right? This guy gets out of the chair, he kicks the chair on the ground and says, he does his line, but kicking that chair out, like boom, he got the role. That's spectacular.
That is spectacular.
That's something that's different.
So let me go into a direction, I guess. I mean, it's on this topic. We're not segueing to something else, but would you think that people who are watching some of the shows that are very popular on TV right now, where people go to audition and show their talent. And these are individual auditions. They're not a call for a specific, I'm sure that you know some of the shows that I'm talking about, but they go to audition. Would you say that the way that they audition there is indicative of most auditions that you've gone to?
Most of them, yeah, some.
I mean, do they have, say, 3 different people looking at you while you're auditioning? There's,
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a panel of. Yeah. Okay.
I went to one that was called. It was in Georgia. Abraham Lincoln versus the Zombies.
So how many zombies?
One was Abraham Lincoln, the vampire slayer or something like that. And then there was Abraham Lincoln versus zombies. Well, I was called in for the audition. And there was about 4 people on the panel.
There was 4 people. Okay. I think that can be very making it so people have stage fright, seeing that there's 4 people that they've got to perform in front of if they haven't done that before. I mean, even if you're somewhat seasoned, it still can be kind of nerve wracking.
Oh, the first audition I went to, I froze up. So there you go.
You did? Yeah, I kind of had some.
That was a while back.
I had something similar on an audition.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, they're just the same old thing.
Same old thing. Yeah, once you feel confident.
Everyone you get better at.
That's right. You're fine-tuning your craft and you know what to expect. And then I think maybe
sometimes I've been to a couple auditions where there was only one person there.
Okay.
I went to audition for Florida Girls.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Have you ever heard of that movie, that show?
No.
It's called Florida Girls.
Okay.
I had 1 season, I think, or 2 seasons. But they had me come in to audition for the restaurant manager for Carol's restaurant.
Oh.
So I was going to be the restaurant manager. I think it was a day job. But there was only one guy there. So
you had reminded me of one that I myself went on. And it was kind of overwhelming. I mean, the stage was huge that they had us on. It was not a theater. It was for TV. And there was a lot of people there. I wasn't ready for that. And there was a panel also, but I mean, there was a lot of people that were involved in the project that were at the audition waiting for the panel to kind of, do what they do. And it can be just so nerve wracking because you got to feel confident about what you're doing and what you're presenting, because embarrassment, if you're not ready for it, can sort of overtake you. Yeah.
Like I went to one at a mall one time.
Oh, you had just in the middle of the mall?
No, it was in some room over there in the mall.
Okay.
Savannah Mall in Georgia. Can't remember the name of the movie. They said it was Halle Berry was funding this film. It was an indie though, but I think it was a scam. I don't know. It never took off. That was like my first audition when I lived in Georgia. I did terrible. I did the same thing. I froze up.
Richard, that reminds me though. I grew up in the Los Angeles area, and so I can think of several places that were kind of sort of scammy, where they wanted to take you into a room into the mall or another sort of commercial building, and they were doing these big, I don't know. Yeah. They weren't. Yeah. So
they weren't looking for money or anything. It wasn't a scam like that. They didn't charge nothing. I just didn't think it was a very good presentation of this film.
I know when you're in the Hollywood area, you can have they're not the Nielsen ratings, but they are people that sort of study how viewers are going to accept a TV series. So they'll have them go in and watch a pilot and then give feedback on that. And they'll kind of recruit you off, I don't know, Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset. And they'll be like, hey, you want to come in this back room and check this out? And we want your opinion. And you're kind of skeptical. Like, we'll give you a candy bar for watching. I'm like, I don't know.
But I tell you what, I learned a lot from student films. I have to admit, I did.
Let's talk about that for a minute, because I don't think too many people have shared much on student films. And I think that this is important.
Well, I did a lot of student films for SCAD over in Georgia. That was a big film school. School. And I did about 15 films for SCAD. And I learned a lot on set there. I mean, how to deliver lines, how to, be on set, do the work.
That's important. So that would be another opportunity if someone is looking
Something when you first starting out, you put it on your resume,
Yeah. If you want to break in the business and you need a resume builder.
Extra work. You don't put extra work on your resume.
Well, and not only that, but if you have, let me go back. If you go to some of the student and you're working on some of the student films and you're in there, some of them actually are giving you IMDb credit.
Yeah, some. I didn't get any though. Sometimes you got to chase these guys down to get your films.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Actually, I got one here. Look. This was a film I did. They put it on DVD.
So is that dating you right there?
Huh?
Okay.
Slanted.
Turn it over. Okay, there we go. Wait, no, that's just custody granted. Okay.
Yep. This was a student film. Very well put together. It was actually they had to get permission. It was from Alex Bundy Productions. He was the director of the film, and not eligible for public viewing. But what's that movie that Jim Carrey was in? Jimmy Snickets.
Lemony Snickets?
Lemony Snickets.
Lemony Snickets.
That's what the song's about. And I played him.
How fun. So I think you have brought up, before I let you go, you've brought up some really good points. Never give up. Make something very impactful in your first 5 seconds if you're going to do a self-tape, and utilize the opportunity to get involved with student films. If you want to go to school for it yourself, you can. If you're doing other things and you just need the experience as an actor, get involved with student films. These are 3 really good points. I am so glad I had an opportunity to talk with you again today. I'm excited about
indie films.
Indie films, yes.
All the films I'm doing for these guys, these are indie films.
Yeah, you've got great projects coming up.
Film, Ladybug. Indie film.
FireFighter2, Ladybug is coming up. You've got this as you are going to be the one that pops out in your face on the TV pilot. We're going to be watching for it. We're going to be watching your social media. So I want to thank you so much, Richard, for being with us. Tell us where they can follow you.
They can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I don't think I got any other social medias right now.
I love it. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to having you back here pretty soon.
They can follow me on IMDb too.
And yes, we've got more to talk about. You'll have your film that we can, hopefully you'll be able to share a little bit about that come May, the things that you've got going there. And there's so much more. So
there's more. Like I said, follow my journey because things are getting exciting.
Okay. I'm going to leave it on that note. Follow Richard's journey because things are getting exciting. I love this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Rebecca Sounds Reveille. 3 really good points that I think that you can use if you're wanting to getting into the entertainment business. And if you're not, take a minute to see how those 3 points can affect something that maybe you want to do, or how they can help someone that you know. I really appreciate you tuning in today, and I send my love out to you, and thanks so much for tuning in to another week of Rebecca Sounds Reveille.